Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for Championship preview and predictions for round 35. We are nearly at that lovely 10 games to go point, which we will be reaching, obviously, in a couple of games' time. This is round 35 we are up to now, and as ever, I need your predictions for each of the 12 games that are happening this weekend rather. Bit of an interesting one actually, because all the games are done by Saturday. There's no Sunday game. There's a few catch-up games in midweek, but for the first time in several weeks now, there's going to be a 7-day gap. God knows what we're going to do on the channel. A whole 7-day gap for teams to rest. So it does feel like next week we will take stock and make some projections for the end of the season, because things are really hotting up now in the Championship. We will get in to the predictions very soon. If you look along the bottom, I'm organised today. I have the running order up. We will go from top to bottom as we always do, but not before we've said thank you to the Donovan brothers, who are our fan sponsor of this show, in loving memory of Michael of South East London, a lifelong Millwall fan, admirer of this show. Thank you to the Donovan brothers, and my usual plugs here. Patreon, go and support. Patreon only Q&A yesterday. The quick predictions will go up very soon. You get the exclusive Classics Reviewed show as well. And we're going to hopefully grow more and more content there. You can support any point right now if you want to support the channel via Super Chat. But for the princely sum of absolutely none of your hard-earned money, just hit that thumbs up button wherever you are. Make sure you hit subscribe and ring the bell. Right, let's get that running order back up. Let's say hello to everybody in the comments. Let's say a very big thank you there to Owen. Swans at 18 wins. $10 super chat from Owen. Thank you. Equal win tally for last season with 14 games to go. Well, regardless of what happens now, happy with the team and the gaffer. Let's just say some hellos into the chat to Owen, Pucker, Liam, talking about new contracts for Mick and Warnock. Hi, David and Sophie, Paul Lambert. You still find him. Carl, James, happy Friday to you too. The dogs are coming this afternoon. There's always a happy Friday here. Mr. E, Zach, Owen, and thank you again. Eli, who's sent me some very detailed numbers on end of season projections. It's getting to that time now, isn't it? Ben, Liam, Paul, Yo, James, Ben H, Alex, Titch, Kieran, Kempy, Mr. Curb Stomp. That sounds painful. Alistair, Cherry's Red Army, Jeppo. I think, have we said hello to everybody? Nick, I don't think we did. Another Nick. Yes, I've heard the Sheffield United Ramblers as well. And Julian there at the end. Right. I need your help. Let's get into this. Our first game this round is Norwich City versus Luton. Let's bring that up on the screen. So Norwich, really, really key victory over Brentford for Norwich in the midweek, which now puts the Canaries 10 points clear of second place. Doesn't change anything as regards the actual automatic race, but in terms of the Championship race, well, would you rather finish first or second? So in terms of the Championship race, it was a very good, very key day. And I mean, look at this now. With 12 to go, 10 points clear, 4 wins more than any other side in the division, 73 points. I put my updated points per games up on Twitter. Get your predictions in for this one, by the way. I put my up-to-date points per game on Twitter. Norwich potentially now could they be a magic 100-pointer? Maybe they need, say, 3 wins out of the next 4 and a draw, would put them at 83 from 38. And then it's on, isn't it? It is on. It's a hell of a streak at the moment, though, for Norwich, 6 straight victories. But they could be going in the Hall of Fame if they have a really strong finish to the end of the season. I don't think we're talking about a viable challenger for them unless, like I've said, ad nauseum, unless Buendia gets hurt and can't play. There's very, very little chance of Norwich. I wouldn't even say finishing top 2 now. I'd say of Norwich not finishing first because they're so far ahead now. It's looking pretty unassailable, even with 12 games out. Luton, look at that. Tip your cap for that. 44 points for Luton with 13 games to go. Remember my mantra, 45 to survive, has been the 10-year standard. 7 points in the last 3 for Luton. I tweeted earlier in the week when they beat Forest, Luton have scored 8 away goals this season and got 20 points out of 8 goals. So they're brutally efficient at home, but they are the lowest goal scorers. There's your homes and aways. Norwich, second best in the league at home, catching up with Watford. Watford got 41 points at home. That's pretty hefty going from the Hornets. And there's that ridiculous Luton run of 8 goals, bringing in 20 points. I'm hearing about bogey teams and all sorts. Let's just remember, I know the argument is Luton have beaten Norwich twice this season, haven't they? However, I think they played Norwich third team in the League Cup, and certainly Norwich had a lot of injured players. I'm sorry, I'm filing bogey teams along with the new manager bounce and the manager of the month curse, I'm afraid. I'm not having it. Not having it. Let's have a look, see what you guys are saying in the chat. Just give me a Norwich, a draw, or a Luton. Home. Norwich. The Maximilian Aarons derby. Nice. Just adds a bit more gravitas, calling them Maximilians. Home ball win. Norwich. Won't bore the Norwich fans, will it? Home. Buendia 3, Luton 0. Yeah, right. Last time Luton won, Canaries had over 10 first out. Yes, Norwich had injured. Can we stop it with the numbers? Norwich at worst had 4 key first team players out. I think the funniest tweets were, we've got 14 first team players out. I'm like, hang on, you can only have 11 in the first team. It was getting a bit silly then, but in fact, let's bring the team up that actually played in that game. Let's just put this nonsense to bed. There it is. So look, there is your Norwich team in that game. Yes, Krul would be over McGovern. Yes, Sørensen wouldn't be playing left back, but Gibson, Hanley, Aarons, 3 first teamers, Skip and Buendia, and Arteti, Placheta, McGovern. Are they bad replacements? I'm just not having this. I'm not having it. Anyway, let's move on from that. Bang, some more homes. Norwich, hard to go into the Canaries. Catching your show again at last. Thank you, Peter. My head says we'll win, but my gut says Luton will do us again. It's not going to happen, is it? Not going to happen. This should be the first game we've had a full squad against them. Exactly. That was the point I was making. But can we stop with the 17 first teamers out injured nonsense? I'm just getting boring predicting. I'll just get all your predictions. Gary Doherty, Doug. We'll go for that one. I once walked past Gary Doherty in Norwich Station, Chris Mower. So we'll definitely go for. Is that an entire team of? There we go, of Derby players. Bang. Yeah, Aaron's Buendia, Pookie Krul. Doesn't matter who the others are precisely. There we go. Is it going to be a 7 straight win? Is it? It's hard to predict it not being home. They're heading to. There are some harder games. I think when you look in the last 5 games, but the 100 points is on, isn't it? I think if they get 4 points from the next 2 games, you start to look at it very, very seriously. With that, we tend to. Where's my table? Hang on. I'm still on this silly Norwich-Luton game from last time, aren't I? There's my table. So, yeah, with 10 games to go, I suppose they'd like to be within 20 or 22 points, wouldn't they? Yeah, they could do with another couple of wins with 10 games to go. But it's on. I think it's on. I'll go for a home win. Right. Brentford versus Rotherham. Brentford obviously lost at Norwich in the week and now have lost 4 games in 6. Is that right? Brentford not in the best form at the moment. Some injury issues without Rico Henry, Pontus Jansson still, Josh De Silva. Am I right about that? Yeah, it's 4 defeats in 6 for the Bees, which is obviously they were top, weren't they, before that 3-game losing streak? And obviously in those 6 games, Brentford have picked up 6 points and Norwich have picked up 18. So hence why Brentford are basically shooting it out for second place, it looks like now. Rotherham heroically won at Sheffield Wednesday, and the Michael Smith red card has been overturned. So Rotherham are at points parity again. Look at that. 32 played, 32 points. They've got games in hand. At the moment, they're projecting at a point per game. So at the moment, their games in hand don't get them out of trouble if we apply past logic to it. But hey, that doesn't always work, does it? Let's have a look at our homes and aways. Brentford are the 3rd best home team in the league, 35 points. So they're over 2 points per game at home. Brentford, look at Rotherham, 3 away wins in the last 5 games, 5 aways this season. It is an improvement, isn't it? Because they went on horrible runs away from home under Paul Vaughan. Let's see what you guys are saying about this one. Brentford and Rotherham. 2-0 Bees. 3-1 to the Bees. The Cheo Ogbene derby. Nice. Home, Brentford. Draw, Rotherham to nick a point. Brentford. Home, away, draw, Brentford. 4 in 6. Not good. Brentford. Come on, Rotherham. Love them to stay up. Brentford has some teams breathing down their neck, need to gain some momentum. I'll be the one to go away. There's been a few. It's going to be 1-1, isn't it? See what I did there, Mr. Bloom? I don't know. You just made a prediction. That's the game here. Can you still call it an upset if Rotherham win based on form? That is, yeah, of course you can, yeah. Bees, Brentford, confidence is key here. I think Rotherham will go in with a good feeling. Smith's red card overturned. Brentford will be too strong. Home, draw. Let's try and get all of these up on the screen. Brentford not best, but 1-2 recent home games. Wednesday and Stoke. Rotherham goal difference suggests they are better than their league position. Draw. Rotherham snatch late draw. Okay. I get the idea that you all think Rotherham are going to be quite competitive in this one. I cannot see past home. I just think a bit of a Brentford bounce back. I think Christian Norgaard's going to come back into the team now. And that, look, it's not going to get any worse unless they get some gnarly injuries to some key players, I think, than this recent run. If it does, they ain't going to go up. So I just can't see that. It's too much evidence to the contrary, I think. So I've gone for a home win. All of the top 3, top 4, top 5, entire top 5 playing at home this round. Interesting quirk. So let's talk Watford. Watford of that just ludicrously good home record, 41 points at home. And Watford are now tied on 63 points with Brentford, plus 21 on the goal difference, and Brentford's is plus 25, which is getting close. I tweeted earlier, you know what Watford's last 2 games are? Swansea and Brentford. Oh, you've got to love that, haven't you? Brilliant end to the season, potentially, if it's still looking as tight as it is now, 63, 63, 62 up there. So other than that Jeff Lerma Royal Rumble defeat at Bournemouth, look at that, 4 wins in 5. They're brilliant at home, Watford, as well, aren't they? And in the 4-3-3, Andre Gray scored 2 goals as the central striker. I assume João Pedro's back now, but Do you take Andre Gray out after he scored 2 in a game? I don't know. Watford fans will let me know. Forest, little slip. They lost at home to Luton, didn't they? And they drew at Derby. It's only 1 point in the last 2 games for Nottingham Forest. Yeah, I expected them to kind of climb consistently and probably finish in the top half by the time 46 games was up. But a little bit of a blockage at the moment there for Forest. Do I have to put the Watford home form up? Sensationally good, 41 points. Forest away, not great, but 10 points from the last 5. So not great over the season, but in terms of recent form, it's decent. And let's be honest, Chris Hughton, doesn't matter who he's playing against, he'll set it up and make it hard. That's the bare minimum you'll get from Hughton. I'm going to plead the 5th and see what you guys are saying in this one. Owen, not confident. 2-0 Watford. Watford. Oh, I like that. Elton versus Stern John. Excellent work. Watford. Chalobah, Cleverley and Gosling. Yeah, not much central midfield there. Good point, Mark. Watford, draw. Watford. Forest. Away, draw. Let's try and get all of these up on the screen. I don't think they're all predictions. Home, Watford, draw. Forest run of fixtures. Watford, Reading, Norwich, Brentford, Cardiff. Oof. Is it going to be really boring if I go for another home win? I think it might. Draw. Let's go for a Chris Hughton to eke out a point at the team with the best home record in the division. I'm just doing it to mix my coupon up a little bit here. Let's move on. Swansea versus Middlesbrough. Swansea versus Middlesbrough. Get your predictions in for this one. Steve Cooper versus Neil Warnock. 4th versus 9th. So arguably a harder game than either Norwich, Brentford or Watford have got in this round. It's the highest ranked opponent so far for any of the top 4 teams. Swansea a little bit spotty. Look, win, loss, win. And a very, very late win with a iffy-ish looking penalty at the end against Stoke. They're not sweeping all before them, but they never did they? They won tight games, good game management, good defence, things of that nature. Only lost 6 games all season. Only Norwich have lost fewer games than Swansea. Middlesbrough, 10 points in 5, but 5 off the playoffs as things stand. This is a tricky one to call, isn't it? There's the Swans' recent home form, obviously coloured by that home defeat against Nigel Pearson and Bristol City. Let's look at the away form for Borough. Bang, bang. 10 points in 5 away. Wins at Reading and Coventry. This is the sort of time a Neil Warnock team would, I don't know, score 21 points in 8 games or something silly and go sailing up the table. Let's see what you guys are saying on this one. There we go. Swansea, Borough. I need to win against Borough. Have a feeling it will be Colin's spanner in our plans. Not Colin the Caterpillar. Draw, Borough, draw, Borough, Swans, Borough, Swans, draw, Swans, Borough, mixed. Borough, draw, Swans, draw. Interesting. Draw knocking at the door. Possibly Swans need to make a statement. Yes, and we have seen the Neil Warnock contract news. He's going to be working past age 70. What, is he 72 already? Swans IU Masterclass. I think Swansea are going to win a tight game against Middlesbrough. Home. but it's going to be tight. Not going to win by more than 1 goal, is my opinion. So incoming 4-1 victory or something. Right, Reading versus Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday now managed by Mr. Darren Moore, and he had the worst possible start because he lost his first game to the team directly above him in the league at home to a 97th minute goal. So Wednesday, well, are they in the last chance saloon, or 7 points adrift with 13 games to go, and Birmingham with 7 points in the last 4, pulling away from them? I don't know. Reading away is obviously going to be a tricky game. Back-to-back wins for Reading, and it looked like Reading needed like a little shot in the arm. 2 clean sheets, and Puskás came into the team and scored, didn't he? And I don't know, it felt like Paunovic had tried moving all his chess pieces around and nothing was changing, and he needed a new one. And maybe Puskás coming back will give everyone a kick up the backside. I still think they need Swift back in that team if they want to stay in and potentially win the playoffs. Reading are the 6th best team and only team with 0 draws at home. That's tremendous. Reading with 10 home wins, 7 defeats. Sheffield Wednesday's away form is rank. 4 straight defeats for the Owls, and a tricky one for Darren Moore, who was talking a lot about chance creation and attacking and all that. And Reading are a good side at the back, aren't they? What are you guys saying here? Away, Wednesday, Reading. Yeah, sorry. You won't all like all my predictions. I can't please everybody, can I? Reading. Rinamotor. Oh, Morrison out. That's disappointing. He's had a good season, hasn't he? Reading, lots of injured, but we're injuries. Wednesday look doomed. Owl, says Carl. Wednesday. Can only read Reading winning this. Reading. Wednesday won't go down, but they'll lose 2-0. Interesting. 5-0 Wednesday. Nat, forever the optimist there. Let's try and get... if Patterson doesn't play, they'll have a chance. Patterson bringing the great highlight reel of the season. I'm going to go with you guys. I think Reading are going to win this one. A home victory in Reading versus Sheffield Wednesday, which is obviously the Lucas Shaw derby, which nobody mentioned. And we should straight away mention that Preston versus Bournemouth is our next game, which is the Ben Pearson derby. And Bournemouth are back in the top 6, and they're visiting, just good luck calling this. They're visiting our most difficult to call team of the season, Preston, who have 13 wins and 17 defeats this season, which is a little bit all over the place, nearly as bad as Bristol City's 14 wins and 17 defeats, isn't it? Preston not doing too well of late, only 4 points in that last 5 games for the Lily Whites, and a defeat to Millwall and Scott Malone's vibrant left foot in midweek. So Bournemouth, are they picking up under Woodgate? They beat Watford and they beat Bristol City. First team to beat Bristol City under Nigel Pearson in slightly weird circumstances with a goal off Cameron Carter-Vickers' backside. Let's look at the homes and aways. Preston, obviously, we know are very bad at home, but a lot of that stems from that really weird start to the season when I think they had within the first 12 or 13 games, they had something like 5 away wins and 6 home defeats straight away. So those numbers are a little bit skewed based on the start of the season, but still not terribly impressive stuff. And Bournemouth's away record is very middling, isn't it? Only 5 away wins for Bournemouth, although obviously they managed to pick one up in the midweek. I'm going to plead the fifth, as I often do. Go to your comments on this one. We'll see what you're saying. Right. Preston, draw. Bournemouth, draw. Pearson's likely to be out. It's still the Ben Pearson derby, even if he doesn't play. Bournemouth, draw. Bournemouth. Steve Sidwell derby. Nice. Bournemouth, draw. I don't know how to predict. No, neither do I. Win, draw, loss. I'll just go one by one. Just go round and round in circles. Yeah. Bournemouth, draw. I assume Dan Juma will play. Preston, Bournemouth, looking better with a back four. Cook and Carter Vickers building a partnership. Dom Solanke returns, giving us a lift. Draw. Yeah, I think I'm going to go down the middle. No, I'm not. I haven't had an away win yet. Go on. Away. It's no way to predict results, is it, to just look at my coupon? But now let's go for Bournemouth to have too much star power on the pitch and get past Preston. Right. Barnsley versus Birmingham in a repeat of the 2000 playoff semi-final, which I remember very well. Ask me who won the final. Barnsley versus Birmingham. Barnsley are looking for a 7th straight victory. And I guess Barnsley will be playing one of those games in hand in midweek. So if they can stay in touch this round, then they could potentially, by midweek, be in one of those playoff positions. But they've got to go through Birmingham first, who are actually surprisingly quite good away from home, which is very, very odd considering where they are in the league. Tells you a lot about their home record, doesn't it? So I'm sure the Barnsley fans will tell us how unprecedented a 7th straight victory would be for them. But they are on fire at the moment, aren't they, Barnsley? And it just got to stay in there, haven't they? And get that game in hand. So they're within 2 points for the game in hand, which I'm sure they will do. Birmingham, recent splurge, 7 points from 4, but not helped by Rotherham's excellent win at Sheffield Wednesday the other night, were they? Let's look at the homes and aways. Barnsley, 10 points in the last 4, 3 straight wins at home. They are the 7th best home team in the league. And look, they've got a game in hand on Reading, so they could be in the top 6 for home teams. But look at that away form. It's just strange, Birmingham, isn't it? 23 points away from home, yet, well, you can see only 12 points at home. What are you guys saying on this one? It's Barnsley versus Birmingham. Barnsley. That's cold. What's cold? Did I say something mean? Barnsley. Crank it out. Barnsley. The Mark Roberts derby. It is indeed, isn't it? He scored the other night for Blues. Never won 6 in a row. 134-year run had ended because he was losing 3-0. The attacking force votes the most defensive in football. There you go. 3-1 Barnsley. Draw. Home. Barnsley. Blues win. Draw. Barnsley. So I'm doing the Barnsley accent. Draw. Home. No one looks like stopping us. Another win for the Reds. Barnsley. Oh, the playoff final day. It's not cold. Come on. We haven't done anything since. So, oh no, we finished 5th in the Premier League. Of course we did. Draw. Go on. I'm going to stay on the Valerian Ismail train. I want to see the 7th straight win. Home. It'd be great, wouldn't it? Incredible streak from Barnsley. But who have they got breathing down their neck? And this is the watch along tonight. Is Huddersfield versus Cardiff. We'll be doing a watch along of this one tonight, which I am very much looking forward to. I haven't seen Cardiff under Mick yet. I don't know why I need to, having supported a team that he managed for 6 straight years. But Huddersfield versus Cardiff. The winning streak ended drawing at Borough, but then they won the next game 4-0 against Derby with 29% possession or something brilliant like that. So Cardiff under Mick, 3 draws, 6 wins in 9. It's mental. Well, I think that's the right number. And Huddersfield are awfully slipping, and their home form has deserted them as well. Get your predictions in. Corberon versus McCarthy. There's the home form for Huddersfield. And it's strange that they're still that high because you can see they've only won that one. Would that have been the game against Swansea? I think. So look, they can do it, but perhaps the Swansea one looking very much like an outlier at the moment. Look at Cardiff's away form. God damn it. I mean, Norwich are in a league of their own up the top there, 6 points clear, but very impressive away form for Cardiff, including 4 straight wins. So 13 points in the last 5 games away from home. This one looks quite straightforward to predict, doesn't it? What are you guys saying? Where does it start? There we go. Yes, we should do a plug, shouldn't we? It is on Sky, and we'll be watching along from 7:30 tonight, which I'm very much looking forward to. Cardiff, Huddersfield, Cardiff, Huddersfield, Cardiff, Huddersfield. Draw, Cardiff, 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 Huddersfield. I'm noting a disproportionate number of Swansea fans predicting Cardiff defeat tonight. Let's try and be objective with our predictions, please, gentlemen of Wales. Don't know why I think Huddersfield might win. Got my son's tumour results back today. Fantastic. Brilliant news, Nat. Excellent news. I'm really, really pleased about that, my friend. Cardiff draw, Cardiff, Huddersfield. Fake news. I need to go in the sin bin. Well, I'm going for Cardiff then. And I want Cardiff to have 12% possession, 1 shot, and score 3 goals. Away! Millwall versus Blackburn, everybody. Millwall versus Blackburn. I suspect if I wound back probably 10, 12 games, Millwall's points per game is probably actually pretty good, isn't it? Pretty good. The Stephen Reid derby, you having that? Stephen Reid, remember in the midfield? Does he work for someone now? Who does Stephen Reid work for now? Someone look that up for me. Millwall versus Blackburn. Let's have a look at the table. So, Millwall, they had that defeat against Barnsley, but everyone's losing to Barnsley at the moment, aren't they? Otherwise, they're in pretty good form, and I think the home form's pepped up after, for the longest time, there's only 1 home win on the board, wasn't there? And Blackburn are sliding away, in the words of Paul Simon, aren't they? 1 point in the last 5. I think there might even only be 1 point in the last 6. So this does feel quite nicely set for Millwall, doesn't it? So look at the Millwall home form. It's not good across the season, but look at the last 5 games, 11 points. That's excellent. And Blackburn, there's a nasty trend downwards at Blackburn at the moment. A lot of loaned players as well. You just worry long term. Where is that going? What should we go with? A bit early with this, but I'm meant to be sleeping. I couldn't miss it. There you go, Ross. Millwall home win. You got it. Julian must win for us to have an outside chance of playoff push. For Mill. 3-1 Blackburn, says look, yes. Great news. Nat. 1-0 Mill. Draw. Blackburn, draw. Malone hat-trick. Tremendous. Mill. Thank you for giving Nat your good wishes, guys. He's at Forest. Yes, I knew he was somewhere, Liam. I'd seen him on my TV. Draw away. Blackburn can't sink any lower. Mill. Blackburn, Mill. Mogger sounded broken. That's not good, is it? As much as I love Mogger, I'm going home. Mill will win. I'm going for it. Scott Malone to score a scissor kick or something silly to add to his highlight reel. Okay, Stoke versus Wickham. Stoke have the air of a side who are going to finish bang in the middle of the table now. Are they going to be one of our first on-the-beach teams this season? Tailing off, trending downwards away from a potential playoff challenge into 3 straight defeats. Stoke are now 10 points off the playoffs with 12 games to go. And I predicted them to finish in the playoffs, and I'm going to be wrong unless they have a Barnsley-esque run over the next month or so. Wycombe, well, they get a couple of results and then they get back-to-back defeats. So Wycombe are 13 points off. So currently, Wycombe will be relegated with 4 games left to play, the way things are going. Let's have a look at the homes and aways. And Stoke's home record is not good now, is it? 6 home defeats, and they lost, obviously, to Swansea. They did have 7 points in the previous 3 before that. So it was building. Wycombe, as you can imagine, the bottom side. Away from home, obviously, they don't score many points. The fewest in the league. Is it as simple as a Stoke bounce back? Nick Powell in very good form, isn't he? What are you guys saying? Stoke, draw. Stoke, draw. Too stubborn, hard to get past defences. Wycombe, draw. Stoke, draw. Home should have beaten Swansea. Potters will blow over Wycombe. Can they do that on a windy Saturday night? Insert cliche at Stoke. I think they can. Home win for Stoke. Bristol City versus QPR. The Narky Wells. Josh Scowen, did we say? Derby. Bristol City versus QPR. Get your predictions in for this one. Nigel Pearson, first defeat at home to Bournemouth, somewhat fortuitously. A rare mistake by Dan Bentley, and like I said, Cameron Carter-Vickers scoring with his backside. And after their brilliant run, QPR have tailed off, haven't they? A draw and 2 defeats. So I'll reiterate what I said. Yeah, they lost to Barnsley. Everybody's losing to Barnsley. But they lost to Birmingham, didn't they? And they drew with Preston. So not all informed teams that they've dropped points to and not managed to beat of late. Bristol City, of course, we can draw a line 3 games ago. Pearson wasn't in charge, but was there for the win against Borough. He was in charge for the win against Swansea. And then the defeat against Bournemouth. Bristol City, like I said earlier, even worse to predict than Preston. Look, 14 wins, 17 defeats. Just massively stripy with their form. Home form, 4 straight defeats. Don't see that continuing, do you? Away form for Rangers, 1 point in the last 2. I'm not sure on this one. See what you guys are saying. I think we come in there. Naki will win home. The Luke Freeman derby, fancy City because I'm a fan. Desperately unlucky. Yeah, it was a bit of a weird defeat, wasn't it, Jeff? 0-0 without managing the new manager. Take your new manager bounce, James, and pop it with your what were we talking about earlier? Bogey teams. That's it. No. He's jesting, I can see. Home win. Home never beat them, says Noah. Home. Every game is a derby now. Of course it is. Home. Do you think we're safe from relegation? Yeah, of course you are. Rangers, Bristol City, draw. Have Rangers got their towels down? They're too low to have their towels down. We're looking for teams right slop slap bang in the middle, aren't we? Draw. City, Rangers, City, draw. I rest my case on this match. Home draw from Ben and Mel. Draw. I'm going to go for a draw in that one. And finally, Coventry versus Derby. Coventry City versus the Derby County. And I don't know, if I'm a Coventry City fan and I'm seeing Rotherham getting to a point per game and Coventry is sat there with Derby to play just off or 1 ahead of a point per game, I'm still a little bit looking over my shoulder, aren't I? I think Coventry at best this season must have been 4 or 5 points ahead of a point per game, but it just feels inevitably heading towards around 46 or fewer points for Coventry. We'll do a lot of analysis next week on the run-ins for everybody, especially when we get to 10 to play. But yeah, still a little bit of concern for Coventry, but great news because they're back in their stadium at the Rico next season. We hope for their sake that we can go and visit in the Championship. Derby, I'm told, rested a load of players with a view to this game. So Rooney's either going to look very clever or very silly. It's either going to work in the best way or not in the worst way, if you get my drift. Let's look at the homes and aways. It's a difficult one to call this, isn't it? Cov are pretty good for a side down the bottom at home, 24 points from 17. Derby's away form, they've lost 3 out of the last 4 to Rotherham, Watford and Cardiff. You can countenance defeats at Watford and Cardiff when you're down there more than you can. No disrespect, obviously, to Rotherham. Let's get your predictions. I'm completely not sure on this one at all. Where are we here? My head says away. My heart says home. Should probably go with my head. That's Derby then. Cov shock winning. Coming. Draw. Derby. Draw. Derby. Draw. Cov. Unhelpful draw. You're speaking my language there, Lim. Away. Draw. Cov have to outrun Huddersfield, not Rotherham, perhaps. Yeah, perhaps. The Rico return should give some motivation. Always good to hear from Callum, by the way. Need to create more chances. Ostigard returning, so he was suspended, was he? And Godden could be on the bench. Cov, the Mohamed Konjic derby. Nice. Richard Keogh derby. Excellent derby. Sorry, Cov fans. Away. Don't know why. Just have a feeling. I've already seen Derby win at St Andrews this season. They won like 4-0 or something, didn't they? Or 4-1. I can't remember. So there we go. Those are our predictions. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. We're really at the business end now. So really lots of narratives and things developing right the way up and down the table. And it's still competitive. Let's hope it stays there until the end of the season. I will be live tonight at 7:30 for Huddersfield versus Cardiff. Looking forward to that one. And then we will be on the Super Stream from 1:30, and it is Watford Forest. We'll do the second half. And then we'll do all the 3 o'clocks. So we've got 10 3 o'clocks, and we'll look at Dealey Depart. We'll look at Ipswich as well on the Super Stream. We'll do as many games as we can. Maybe we'll make a rule. If someone in the chat's watching it, we'll cover it. We'll talk about it. But brilliant stuff. Let me know if you want a shout out. We'll do them in just a second and get you all shouted out before we go. We must say thank you to the Donovan brothers who sponsored the show in love and memory of Michael, South East London, lifelong Millwall fan, Mill and admirer of this show. Thank you to the Donovans. Thank you to the super chatters. I think it was Owen who was king of the bin. Aussie-based Owen. Please, before you go, hit the thumbs up button. Right. Great preview. Plenty of much needed laughs. Thank you, Sophie. Always good fun. Couldn't do it without you. Thank you, Robert. James, see you tonight, buddy. Can I have a shout out? Of course you can. Excelling Youth Club. Thank you. Thank you, Kieran. And happy birthday to Smithies and Marshall, goalkeepers' birthdays. And Owen has got 50 subs. Congratulations. Am I subbed to you, Owen? Make sure I do, and I'll get you up to 51. I should have done it already, but there we go. Thank you, Joseph. See you for the watch along. And a big over and out from me. Unless there's any developing stories, you'll see me tonight through the weekend. We're going to do Dearly Departed on Sunday. We're going to do West Brom, Newcastle at midday on Sunday. And we are going to be reviewing all of these games at 1 p.m. Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Tyler. Cheers. Cheers. No, it should be cheers, Commonage, shouldn't it, Paul? Thank you, Richard and Leeds 2021. Best bunch, most balanced, good football chat on YouTube, you lot. I have to not leave my bias at the door and say that. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and catch you tonight for Huddersfield versus Cardiff. Over and out. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button, and to be notified every time we upload, ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.